The M16 Open is going down, and I'm going to be there. And I wanted to talk about how some of these, I guess, local shows build the superstars that we see at CJI, ADCC, all of this. So this is a local show which is in South Australia. It was set up by Adam Jones, the better Jones brother, older brother of Craig Jones, and also Miles Simpson, his business partner in the M16 gym. And yeah, it's awesome, man. They've been there. This is their 15th show.
Oh, wow.
And it's growing and evolving. It's awesome. I really wanted to kind of break it down to shine a spotlight on something which is creating the superstars we see now.
Does it bring competitors from all over the country?
Yeah,
Does
interstate.
it bring anyone, like, is it open to international
I believe
fighters?
so, but I think the difficulty there obviously is that they have done some really awesome super fights and had, I guess, international level competitors. So originally, they were like, how do we get Declan Moody fights in the ADCC format,
Right.
submission only. And originally the way it started was $50 each, winner takes all.
Right on.
16-man tournament, let's go. I think they started in just in a gym. I think they just started in the M16 gym.
In their gym, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then they moved to a slightly bigger venue and they went to the rec center, and then it's just grown because also the spectator base has grown. And they've also been able to get people from interstate, like they had Jake O'Driscoll come from Perth and they brought him over, and then they had your boy inside heel hook. He beat, why does his name escape me? He got submission of the night at CJI against Lucas Cannard. They had him in for a super fight, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so obviously they are competing with some of these bigger international shows, like in terms of when Australia's top elite grapplers are available. But the reason why I really want to talk about it is you would not see Declan now as this monster if it wasn't for these guys putting in the groundwork.
Yeah.
Declan
was he was like I remember watching him compete at Subversion, and he had that reputation as being, one of the toughest guys on the circuit locally.
Yes.
And he was this boy from South Australia.
Yes.
And he was tall and skinny.
He imagine.
Yeah. And
he was more of a gi guy too in the earlier days.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess, to clarify for those who don't know, he's competed in last ADCC.
Yeah.
He competed on what did he do most recently?
I think it was, he recently won. He destroyed the
field qualifier for CJI
for the Giles trials.
Yeah.
But he's also, I think he's part of Team Allione.
Right on.
So he will be competing at the AIGA Championship later in the year with all the other superstars.
Yeah, he's absolutely gone to the top.
Yes.
And he's a B team guy now.
Yep.
Been there for a few years, it seems.
He has. He's been training on and off.
He's graced the Bulletproof for BJJ podcast.
He
was of a level that, he got to sit on the couch and, it was actually before we had a couch.
That's true. Sit at
the desk. He had a chair. Yeah. Yeah, no, but he really has gotten to the top of the game, hasn't he?
He's elevated himself. And it's awesome to see. And I think what we don't appreciate is what's it take to get somebody from very good locally, like the best guy in your town, the best guy in your state, and then maybe one of the best guys in your country to be, top 5, top 10 in the world. What does that take? And what it takes is some hardworking motherfuckers working the back end, putting themselves out, paying money. And so I was speaking with Adam. So, I wanted to go and support because I'm like, man, this is great. I also want to see the event because it looks great on social media. I'd love to be there physically. And he was like, our whole goal was trying to give grapplers opportunities to compete and not pay money. Like, it's so wild that jiu-jitsu guys, to get good, they have to keep giving money to tournaments. Even if they're elite, like, they're not getting paid to show up. Like, not paid anything. If anything, they have to pay their flights, pay their ACOM. Like, it's such a big investment. So the amazing thing that M16 does, and I don't know how many, because we have other shows in Australia. where it's like caged grappling and like, you know, subversion.
Subversion.
They have
They got
elite
budget.
grappling nights. I don't know if they're paying athletes to show up.
Not all of them.
No.
But I mean, and I think that's kind of the crossover, isn't it? Like that the traditional jiu-jitsu competitions weren't designed to be a spectator event.
No.
It was a sports tournament.
Experience.
And so it's like, well, it's for the athletes. And so if you want to have the opportunity to compete, we've organized this thing and you can come and compete. Whereas I think what Subversion did, which was cool, was see, and it sounds like M16 have done the same thing, where they've seen, oh, there is a market for, like, spectators want to come and watch high-level grappling.
Yeah.
And they'll pay and they'll buy things and drinks and food and merch, whatever. So let's make it a spectator event.
Yeah.
Which means that now we can pay the athletes.
Yeah.
It's like a total flip on the model.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's
Because,
awesome.
I mean, yeah, like I'd love to go to that shit too. You know?
I mean, back in the days, I actually was part of like the BOA Super 8.
Oh, yeah.
Where they brought out Satoshi and
Yep.
they brought out a bunch of different Brazilians and top level guys, and they had it on an elevated platform, which is kind of dicey if people are going for takedowns, but
Looks cool.
they love to do it for the spectacle. And I had like a super match, whatever.
Did you?
Yeah, but I was like, I think I was only purple belt at the time. Regardless,
Did you win?
I f***ing lost in the dying seconds.
Wow.
I was winning.
Got subbed.
No, I got swept to mount. Like, it was, I was doing all right. I didn't get foot locked, which is what my main opponent's goal was. Like, that's what he was famous for.
Yeah.
And
What a shit cunt.
yeah, no, I think
Should've won.
Well, maybe I was up. I got a couple sweeps or something, so it might have been 4-0 or 6-0, and then swept to mount. Couldn't get the fuck out. Done. But the great thing about it was it brought this idea of we could get international guests to come to Australia, and they could actually get a decent amount of money for putting on a show.
Yeah.
And yeah, so bro, I think what has been amazing about the growth of jiu-jitsu in Australia is that you get something like these guys, Adam Jones and Miles Simpson, and they are like, we want to build the Adelaide scene. And I really believe like that's what they've done as much as they create competition. So this comp coming up is there's going to be a 4-man 88 kilo category. Mm-hmm. And then the main event is an under 80 kilo 8-man tournament for $1,000.
Right on.
Now, some people might be like, oh, $1,000. Like, what's that? Like, if you're an up and coming jiu-jitsu athlete, even if you're very good, $1,000 is nothing to sneeze at. Like,
No, you'd be happy for someone to buy you a sandwich. You know what I mean? Like
free sandwiches?
Yeah. You mean those little packets of acai are like on the house?
This shit's
Bro,
catered.
we cannot miss this comp. I'm gonna go straight into camp for the next 3 months.
Just to get to qualify.
But this is the reality of it, isn't it? I think we've been a bit spoiled by CJI and shit. Like that's really boosted, in a way, our sort of like you think about this. Like before CJI was ever conceived of in our minds, right? $10,000 to win ADCC seemed pretty good.
Crazy.
That was the best you could do.
Elite.
Besides whatever,
Maybe
odd
Abu Dhabi Pro,
or
something
Spider Invitational,
Invitational.
these events that come along like
One
a
off.
meteor every 10 years. But it was like, oh wow, 10 Gs. Now it's like, oh, $1 million to win. It's kind of just blown everything out of the water, but we can't forget that is like CJI still at this point is just is one promotion that has still only played out once. It's probably going to play out a second time. But all of those little comps that are getting together a purse of whatever they can is really means a lot to a lot of grapplers who get nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that like Adam was saying to me is like, we want people to know if they're coming from interstate, if they're coming from Perth, they're coming from New South Wales, we will pay for them to get here. Can't guarantee them the purse, but they're going to make sure they're not out of pocket. Even some MMA fight promotions won't do that. They expect you to pay everything to get there.
Yeah.
And then you hope to recoup it through your winnings, right? Nothing kills the vibe at jiu-jitsu worse than a calf cramp. You're rolling, you're going hard, and you got the calf cramp, you don't want to tap, but it is killing your jiu-jitsu. Why is that? You're dehydrated. You need a hydration solution, and I got you. That solution is Sodi. Sodi is the perfect blend of electrolytes that taste amazing, that's going to keep the water in your muscles so you can roll hard and not get cramps. Go to Sodi, sodi.com.au, use the code Bulletproof15, you get 15% off, no more cramps, delicious hydration, get some. And they have had some like top level talent come through. And so I think what we forget is when we see those stars at the CJI or the ADCC, where the hell did they come from? And I would say it is shows like the M16 Open where you get a guy like Declan Moody or you get a Lucas Cannard, where it's like, this is where those guys like really kind of cut their teeth, before they broke through, you know? And I think it's very impressive. And now I want to touch on something which is like just probably not spoken about. Well, look, it was spoken about, but I want to say solemn rest in peace to Luke Marco. So Luke Marco is a young up-and-coming athlete who's considered to be like, you know, real pride of up-and-coming talent in Jiu Jitsu in Adelaide. And unfortunately, he tragically died in a motor vehicle accident only some weeks ago. So Adam is dedicating this show to him and is looking to make moves through the M16 Open to keep his name alive and honor him, because everybody felt that kid's talent and felt he was going to be the next big thing coming up.
And did he train with Adam?
Yeah, they did training there. They did some training at M16. I don't believe that was necessarily his home gym, but he was he just was prepared to do anything. Like he was at all the basically all the seminars, all the tournaments. He competed on the M16 Open a bunch of times, super matches, whatever. He just was so willing to compete, super young, athletic, just golden heart. So it's
what a shame.
Yeah, huge loss there. So the awesome thing is that the community is banded together to be like, nah, that was our guy, and we want to make sure that his memory stays alive. So I'm excited to see it because it has grown. It's actually going to be it's going to be at not an entertainment center, but they're actually going to have some booze. So it's going to be like adults event. You know, like the kids can come in early, but there'll be
booze, like alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I thought you meant like booths.
No. I mean,
shit, they got the acai stall there.
no, more professional than that. So they've got local sponsors and, you know, in-state sponsors. We're sponsoring. We want to support the show. And they've got a bunch of super fights on, super matches, should say. And then Jack will call me out, the man with the large hog.
He just speaks on account of the people. What?
He's not the people.
What? Is it a daytime event or a nighttime thing?
It starts at 4 p.m., but it'll
nighttime.
go through. They don't want it to drag because also at the end of the day, we
all say that about jiu-jitsu comps. We're trying hard for this not one to drag out, guys.
To 1 a.m.
It's like definitely going to drag out now that you've said that.
No. Well, I guess it's far more controlled than a jiu-jitsu tournament in terms of like,
there's less.
They know how many competitors they got.
Yeah.
They know how long the matches are, and they've done it before. So it's not like just randoms.
Yeah.
It's professionally run. They know who their refs are. They got the timekeepers. You know what I mean? So I think that this being their 15th show will mean that, you know, from the way Adam had kind of outlined it to me, that they also want people to have an opportunity to go have a night afterwards. So if people want to go out afterwards, they can.
Yeah.
Or if people want to go from the event and go have dinners or drinks or whatever, they can. But it's a good place to get the night kicked off. But I think even like kids under 12 are free, so they have a section which is like all ages. So it's like a really inclusive environment. They've got their tiered seating because I think it's on I have to check the venue, but basically there will be links below to the stream, so they'll be streaming it on YouTube, and then there's also links to buy tickets. So if you're keen to get along and check it out, I think they still have some tickets left, but people have still bought a bunch of tickets.
Right on.
So yeah, if you're keen to check it out, I think it's definitely worthwhile because this is the thing that builds the future stars, and that's why it's worthwhile to get in. Because what I love about it is you're like, yeah, I saw that guy when he was a blue belt, and now dude's a star taking over the scene.
Yeah.
So I think that's a kind of exciting element of going to things like this and supporting shows that support jiu-jitsu culture.
Bro, and someone might even be able to run into you.
well, maybe.
Make sure you call him Joey. Joey, how are you, legend?
Well, you know how he doesn't wear a hat and I wear this red hat and I got this beard and it's kind of a decided difference, point of difference. Actually, you know what Adam said to me? He's like, bro, we get you a match. I'm like, oh, no, dude. Nah, he's like,
bro, that would be sick.
He was like, you could fight Joey. I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, no.
That'd be a great way to destroy the business.
I was like, it's going to be over real quick. You know I'm winning that match. Come on now. It's not even a match.
Bro, I'll just fend you off for a couple of minutes and you'll gas out. And then Joey pounces.
Pounces.
The strong man comes out hard and fast and then just...
Of course, because I'm the one who hasn't been training. But that's fine. That's fine. We'll leave that up to mystery. We'll leave it up to your imaginations. But if you are interested, check out the live stream. If you're checking this out, there's some really good matches on the card. But if you're local, you go get your tickets. Click the link below. There it is.